Hi again, everyone. So we're just about to leave the area of the ancient church and the well behind, and we're entering the area where we have the limestone rock formed 300,000 years ago. But just before we go there, there's a little bed of lovely red clover. You can see a great stomach tonic. And just up here, I think there is a bloody cranesbill used as a tonic for women's problems. And you can see there's a little fly here gaining benefit. The bloody cranesbill have just started to appear lately. And a local school teacher I know was telling me that one of her students wouldn't say the word bloody cranesbill or the words bloody cranesbill because she felt it was rude to say bloody. Which I thought was very sweet. You can see these magnificent butterflies appearing everywhere. A lot of people are commenting on how the butterflies this year, there's so many of them and there's so many different colours. And maybe we just didn't notice them before, or because of the busyness of the traffic on the road, they just weren't about. So here we are in Karen area, where you can see all this beautiful limestone that makes up the heart of the Burren. As some of you will know, if you've been on my tour or if you've read up on this limestone used to be down nearer to the equator, and it was underneath warm seas a long time ago, or fado as they'd say in Irish. And it's made of sea corals, so it used to be alive. And then everything moved northwards, and now we get to enjoy this beauty here above land. And what we'll do is we'll walk out onto the rock and you can get a good look at it. I have many happy memories of coming up here, doing tours, chatting with all of you, getting to know you. One of the most amusing memories is of a very beautiful couple who brought their troll, the little plastic figure with the funny hair, and the troll posed for a photograph on the limestone. I thought that was a wonderful thing. It's wonderful when people give us laughter. And also we were talking about divining rods, and the young man who was had been training to be an engineer had learned how to use what they call witching rods over in the States. And we talked about that, and he was talking about how the divining rods didn't work for him. And here you would make a divining rod out of metal or out of this hazel. See how you're looking at the hazel bush just ahead of us here, which is considered a sacred plant as well. But he was saying that if they didn't work for his body, he had to make some from copper. That's what his structural engineering tutor told him. So if I remember that story correctly, that's it. And it's a wonderful thing when people come from across the world and share their ideas and their knowledge. Just as all of you whom I met did. And I know a lot of you I still will get to meet, and I really look forward to that. And some of you, hopefully I'll get to meet again as friends or in whatever context. Okay, so we're going going to walk out onto the rock. You can see some of the early purple orchids here in the distance. They started to fade a little bit, so there's a lot more orchids to come. Orchids can take up to 9 years to germinate, as far as I understand it, which means if you spot orchids in one place on 1 year, you won't be able to go back and spot them there in the next year. You might have to wait a long time. And that's fine, because it makes a bit of a treasure hunt then in the springtime and the summer when you're going looking for these beautiful rare flowers. And just over here you'll see these cream looking flowers with the yellow centres, and they're mountain avens. And there are very few flowers that actually come twice in the summer, and these ones do. They come again in August, so they're a real treasure. And I do believe they came over with the glaciers back in what can be known as the Ice Age. Though technically I believe it's called the Dryas. So here we are, out on this ancient limestone that used to live beneath the sea, made of sea corals and other living creatures that had passed. As you can see and remember, it's a little precarious walking here. You definitely need your hiking boots to protect your ankles. But you can also see what might look like barren rock is not barren at all, because you see in this crevice here, herb roberts, used for medicinal purposes, nurtured in there in the crevices, and also dandelion leaves. So herb roberts are used for a number of things, but one of them is toothache. And dandelion leaves again are used for a number of things, but they make a very good diuretic. So I would put them in smoothies and teas, as many of you will. And they're very, very good for if you've eaten anything you shouldn't have eaten and you want to cleanse out your system, or you just want to give yourself a good tonic. So I'll just let the camera run for a few minutes till my arms get sore. And if you want to enjoy the bird song, please feel free. And thank you for watching, and go well. I wish you happiness and health and peace and ease in your hearts.